Well, this isn't the next video I wanted to make, but here we are. Enigma, this guy right there behind me, is no more. As you can probably see a little bit of the damage on the side here, right about there. Let's go look at the front though. You can see some damage there, some damage here, door handle, mirror's gone. Look inside, a bunch of glass everywhere, passenger airbag deployed, shattered the windshield, so that was fun. And then we get to the main part here. That's not salvageable. Well, I don't think it's salvageable. I could be wrong, but at minimum right now I would need to replace the this piece here that comes across the top for the core support. Obviously the crash bar, which I'm pretty sure I have another one laying inside. Driver headlight bracket, fender, hood brackets. So yeah, that was fun. Some lady got run off the road by somebody wanting to do 20 to 30 miles an hour faster than what everybody else on the highway was doing. She hit a truck, spun the truck out. He came across all three lanes of the highway, ended up backwards on the left-hand side of the road. Obviously, everybody slammed on the brakes, swerved, and tried to avoid him. I swerved left to avoid the van in front of me. Got on the dirty side of the median. Couldn't slow down in time and hit him head on. So that was a lot of fun. The front I think I could fix. But the rear, just like with the silver car back there, the wheel got pushed back and I'm not entirely sure how. Door, it could just be replaced, whatever. Mirror, that could be replaced, whatever. This would probably be the main thing that would worry me about getting it fixed, is the quarter panel. But I don't think I'm going to fix it. I think what I'm going to do is pull the wheels off, pull the suspension off. I've got some stock 10th gen wheels inside that were on this when I bought it. So I'll probably just throw those on it. Got some stock suspension that's been laying around for God knows how long. Throw that on it. As long as this coilovers aren't bent on this, I'll use these coilovers on something else at some point. For now, I'm gonna get this all vacuumed up, the glass as best as I can. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's cuts on the arm, cuts on the wrist here. That's all from this window shattering when I hit the steel cabling that uses the guardrail in that area. So, good times. Love it. Get this cleaned out, and then I'm going to use this car I'm going to flip it around, and I use the front. Use the rear tow hook after I get the hood off or released so I can get it out of the way. Grab the core support and pull it forward as much as I can. I'm going to pull the motor and trans out of this so I can sell them and fund some other stuff. And then we'll just scrap the shell. Got the glass all cleaned up from the driver window breaking on the inside. Got this all taped up. We've had some pretty bad storms the last couple of days, and I don't want the seat and everything getting soaked in water and all that good stuff. But I don't absolutely have to. More so, the speakers that I just put in the front, I don't want damaged, so I can pull them out and put them in the rear of this car because they sound better than the Kenwoods. But we'll get to that eventually. Right now, I'm going to get this hood off. I detached the hood cable from the inside and kind of pulled it as far out as I could. Tried to release it. It's not releasing, so I'm going to cut the hinges and figure out how I'm gonna get to the hood release to get that. Oh yeah, there you go. You see, that's all crunched up, so that's nice. Get this hood off, get the core support pulled out as much as I can, just so I can get the motor and transmission out, and then I'll probably bring you in for pulling the core support, just because, why not? And then we'll see how much damage, if any, we cause to the motor and transmission. If we did damage them, I'm not going to pull them. I'll just scrap the car as is. If I didn't damage them, then they will get pulled and sold to fund other stuff. Hood is off. I took the Sawzall, cut both of the hinges, pulled on the hood as hard as I could, and then I just twisted it around until I broke the hood latch mechanism, because screw it. Obviously, she's mangled up pretty well. As you can see, we got it ratchet strapped to the SI. Let's see if we can move some of the metal, or the ratchet strap breaks first. Got the hood off, got the core support off, AC condenser and radiator out. The only damage I'm seeing to like the engine area at all is this EGR pipe here. Got hit from the radiator, so it's kinked here, not a big deal, that's whatever. The battery tray is toast, intake is toast. Battery, where did I put it? Battery got toasted on this side and cut on this side, so that needs to go somewhere that's not in my garage leaking battery acid. But even better news, let me pull up my phone here. Initially, they found me at fault because I failed to maintain control of my vehicle while everybody was slamming on the brakes, trying to miss a car spinning across the highway. Now, they've determined I'm not at fault. So the other parties involved, their insurance, they just got a hold of me a couple of minutes ago. I kind of explained what I was already doing to the car, and they're like, oh, well, don't tear it apart anymore. They're going to send out an adjuster now to basically deem it a total loss. Airbags went off. It's already a total loss just because of the year and the mileage on it. They'll give me a price on it. Obviously, I'm going to keep the car so I can pull the motor and transmission, scrap everything else, sell what I can off of it to make a little more money. But they'll cut me a check for the difference of what they deem the value at, minus the cost, minus what they would make off of scrapping it. So this video just got extended a couple of days, or a week or two, who knows. But once they get the adjuster out here, they take a look at it, and they don't need anything else off any more information off of it, then I can go back to tearing it down, getting the motor and transmission out so I can sell those, pulling the suspension and wheels off of it for what's behind you here. We're at a hold point right now, and I'll bring you back in the next clip once they have their determination and I can start tearing it down some more. Insurance is finally done with the inspection on this thing. I don't know how much I'm going to get yet, but they've done their inspection. They're going to send it over to the insurance agent, and then they'll make a determination after that. But that means I can get this pulled inside. Time to start tearing this guy apart. Suspension wheels coming off to start with. I've got some factory suspension laying around and some 10th gen wheels sitting back there that I need to get to. You see, I got the rear up in the air. And pull off the wheels and suspension from the rear. Swap that out with factory springs that are sitting right here. And struts that I've had laying around for God knows how long. Because this car is going to get scrapped after I pull off all the good parts on it. Got the rear end all swapped out. Factory suspension going back onto a car sucks with the length of the springs. You're going from a 5-6 inch spring in the rear to a 8-inch spring, and that was horrible. I had to disconnect the sway bar on the passenger side, pry down on it with a pry bar just to be able to sneak it in enough without the rubber bushing underneath to get the spring in on that side. Horrible. Never doing that again. You get to the front, but I'll do that next here in a second after I get the rear on the ground, because again, I'm working with 2 jack stands. Did get 2/3 of the exhaust off. As you can see here, got the muffler section and then the mid pipe. Still have to take the front section off that connects to the front pipe or over pipe, whatever Honda calls it, that just runs from the header to the between the header and catback. Front is back on. If I sound like I'm a little drugged up right now, it's because I am. Went back to the VA, did some more x-rays of the chest. I haven't gotten the results of that back, but they put me on steroids and muscle relaxers to help with the pain from wrecking this piece of shit. But I got all the stack suspension back on this car. I went to put the wheels on, and I was like, oh, wait, genius. Need to take the axles off. Can't do that with the wheels on. Put the wheel back off, and then we'll get the axles out and then get the suspension put back together, because with the factory suspension on it, it should be high enough to be able to pull the motor and transmission without the car on jacks. So yeah, and you get the axles out. That's going to be a not tonight issue, because tired, muscle relaxers, and steroids, not a great combination for filming and or working on cars. So got the driver's side axle out, sitting over there on the floor. Got the passenger side axle out of the hub. You can see right here, just kind of flopping around there. I do need to get it out of the transmission, because the intermediate shaft and the passenger axle are seized together. Even when I had it out of the car, I smacked it with a sledgehammer and it still would not separate. So I get the, I don't know, there's at least 3 bolts to hold the axle in. Can't remember if I put the shield back on, which I would have to take off to get to the axle bolts, which is 4 bolts, 4 more bolts, I think, if I remember correctly. But we'll get that off as well, and then we can start pulling the motor. Already drained the training fluid, already drained the oil. That way, if somebody does buy this motor, transmission, and shifter setup, because it is a 6-speed and a 5-speed, they have the whole kit and caboodle ready to go. The only thing it doesn't have is wire and plug for the reverse lockout with the 6-speed. Well, that didn't take long. As you can see, motor's out from the time lapse you just watched. This stuff's just going to stay here. I'm going to list this on Marketplace or one of the 8th Gen Facebook groups, something, as a whole unit. Motor, transmission, everything. It was running when I pulled it in the car, into the garage. If I could learn how to use my words, that would be nice. Got the speakers out. Got them put into the back of this car. Initially, they were not working. With the CT sound speakers and the 6.5s or 6 1/4s, whatever I got, can't remember. They're too big, like I showed you before, with putting them in that one where you have to cut the hole out to make the speaker fit. Well, I didn't quite cut the hole enough on the passenger back one over here. Didn't realize that. Just messing with the levels. Was getting nothing from the rear. I pulled them out. Just put them up on their own. They started working. Cut out a little bit more of the metal, put them back in. Perfectly fine now, so that's nice. Time to get the fuel pump out of this guy though. Got the fuel pump out. That's the one with the D-Torx 340, 400, whatever in it. Got the old one in the car. And this thing is now ready to scrap once I have the motor up there out of the way. Just need to sell that first and then I can scrap it. Almost. So I gotta take the seats out, but whatever. I'll get to that eventually before the car's gone. But that is going to be the end of Enigma. Fortunately, I really like this car. Even though it didn't have a lot of power with the 1.8, with how I had it set up, it was a lot of fun to drive. I mean, it drove really smooth, even with how lowered it was and everything else. It handled really well for being on Godspeeds. I mean, honestly, there wasn't anything more I wanted to do to the car as far as like performance. I was gonna make the car look ridiculous, you know. Big front splitter, big rear wing on it just for the hell of it, but that's no more. So fortunately, it's one more car that is now gone, but yeah, is what it is. Can't control what other people do on the highway, and them wrecking and spinning across the highway and everybody else avoiding them and me avoiding the people avoiding the spinning truck. I end up hitting the truck, but whatever, it is what it is. The project I'm working on right back here is going to be stupid, which that'll be the next video you see after this one, is part 1 of that series. So Fortunately, gotta say goodbye to this one, but next thing that's coming up is gonna be a lot of work, but a lot of fun once it's done. See you guys next time. Have a good one.